Step 5 is to publish and distribute your podcast. Yay, we've made it. You are so close to the end once you get to this step. Before you can publish and distribute, you need podcast cover art because Spotify and Apple will require you to have that in order to distribute on their platforms, okay? So to make your cover art, you can use something like Canva. That's exactly what Alicia did in her cover art, which you can see right here. You can also use something like Fiverr or Upwork to hire someone to make your art for you. Once you have your podcast art, then you're ready to actually distribute it to the world. Now, to distribute a podcast, you need a podcast host, okay? I'm gonna explain this to you really simply and we'll get to your options in a second. A podcast host is like the base where your podcast lives. This is its home. And then from there, it gets distributed to all of the platforms where people listen to podcasts. On Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube, on Amazon Music, everywhere. You don't have to upload it to Apple and to Spotify and to YouTube. You could just put it in the home and then send the signal that says, hey, Apple, Spotify, everybody, we have a new episode live. That signal is called an RSS feed, okay? So your RSS feed is you're gonna get from your podcast hosting platform. That's the home for your podcast. So what kinds of options exist for this platform? Traditionally, we've used Buzzsprout and Libsyn and Captivate and Transistor and Podbean to host our podcasts. And those are still great options for hosting a podcast and then distributing it to Apple, Spotify, etc. But when you're first getting started, you want to keep your costs as low as possible in order to again, create that minimally viable product, and then if you decide you want to upgrade later, you can. So what I recommend to all of my students to host their podcasts on Substack. I know that sounds odd. Part of why I love Substack is because it encourages you to already create a newsletter for your podcast, which I think is absolutely necessary. The second piece is because Substack is so beautifully designed, you already have a portfolio or a website for your podcast. You don't need to go out and create a website just for your podcast.